Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to this CFAT Practice Test questions and answers. So I had a video before where I discuss a CFAT Practice Test question where it takes you to a link, SM University, and then in that link it showed you a practice CFAT test involving verbal skills, spatial ability, and problem solving. And then at the end, it provided an answer sheet, but I have not explained the reasoning for those answers. So in this video, I'm gonna discuss the reasoning behind the answers, and I'm focusing this time on the spatial ability, which is the box folding. Okay, so I'm gonna change to a different screen. Okay, so this is the answer sheet, and then I'm just gonna scroll down to the verbal or spatial ability. Sorry. Yes, so there's the spatial ability question. Starting right away with number 1, I'm gonna zoom in the question. So this is a pentagon with a square bottom. So from the choices, we see right away that B and C will not work, so they're eliminated. So we're left with A and D. But then if we look closely, A has a steeper or more pointed tip of the triangle. So the only valid choice is letter D. Okay. So moving on to number 2. Again, we're gonna use the tactic or strategy of elimination here. So in here, the correct answer is C. So if we look at A, it's eliminated right away because the dark triangle in here and the solid line, they're opposite to each other, whereas here in A, they're beside each other. So A is eliminated. This same thing, B is eliminated because the stripe there is right beside a plain white triangle. And letter D is eliminated as well because you see here there the shaded black triangle and the solid line, they're opposite each other, whereas D is right beside each other. So the only valid choice now is C, and we can see that the solid line is right beside a plain white triangle, which is the case here in letter C. Okay, so C is the correct answer. Number 3 is, I find it very easy because it's a cube, and then if we look at the small triangles at the corner, you see here that the solid triangle is at the bottom right, and the the non-shaded triangle is on the top left. So the only valid choice is A. Bottom right shaded small triangle, and then the top left non-shaded triangle. So if you look at choice B, it's just wrong. Choice C, you don't see the placement of the... Okay, I'm following later. Thank you. The choice C, sorry, my daughter is calling me for dinner already, but need to finish this video. Sorry about that. Okay, so choice C, it's just not correct because of the placement of the shaded triangle and the non-shaded triangle, and so is D. So they're all eliminated. The only valid choice is A. Okay, and then question 4, I think this is the easiest one because it's like a elongated pyramid that is closed. So yeah, choice A is eliminated because it's not it doesn't have the pointed triangle, the same as B. And so is D is also wrong because there's 2 pointed tips. The only valid choice now is C. It's a pyramid with a long pyramid with a pointed tip at one side and square base at the bottom right there. So it's just box folding, pattern folding. We use our creative imaginations in order to arrive at the correct answer. So question 5 is a little bit finding the sequence. Okay, so we see first the other choices. So we see a pattern here that the shaded dot on the right side and left side of the shaded dot is a white triangle, and right after that is a shaded triangle. So if we follow that sequence, so shaded dot, white triangle, and black triangle. So pattern A, it shows that pattern, or choice A shows that pattern, shaded dot, white triangle, and then black triangle. Letter B, it doesn't show that pattern, and so is letter C and letter D. So B, C, D is eliminated right away. The only valid choice is A. Okay, letter C. It's the same philosophy, same line of reasoning, is to follow the sequence of the lines and the dots and the plain white faces. So the correct answer here is C. So we find out the reason why. So choice A, on the, it just doesn't work because the longer vertical line is opposite the dot, the dark dot, whereas here they're right beside each other, so that fails the pattern or the sequence. The choice B is wrong because based on here, the the face beside the longer line is a white triangle. Okay, so it doesn't exhibit that sequence for B. And for letter B and letter D, the longer line is right beside the shaded dot, and here they're opposite. See, so the only valid choice now is C, because the longer line is right beside a plain white face triangle, which is the case here in the question. So correct answer is C. Number 7, okay, is pretty much the same reasoning, is to finding the pattern. So letter A is eliminated right away because you can see here that there's two plain white triangles that are beside each other, and here it doesn't show anything like that. So A is eliminated. Now B is eliminated right away because the dot here has a small white in the middle of it, whereas here in the question it doesn't have any of that property. So B is eliminated right away, and so is C because the pattern of the dot is just not you cannot see it on the question here. It's like a dot first, a dot, and then a shaded dot, and then encircled by a grayish circle around it. So C will not work. The dot formation is not correct. So the only real choice is D. But then we counter check. Why is D the correct answer? Because see here on the bottom is the circle dot with a shaded gray, and then beside it is a plain white triangle. So the same here on the question right here. So the circle dot and that is surrounded by a gray circle is right beside a plain white triangle. So D is the correct choice. Okay, number 8. I think this is one of the easiest question. It's a slice of cake. See, now we verify the choices here. If you count the sides, there's like 5 sides on all of them. B, C, D has 5 sides. So that means it will not close, it will open. So they're all wrong choices. The only correct choice is A because it has 6 faces. See, there's 4 squares and there's 2 triangles. Whereas the other choices B, C, D, yeah, they only have 5 faces, sorry. So B is the only, or sorry, A, so that's not right. Need to correct that. That's just the B. Yeah, sorry, the correct answer is B, but I just put it in the wrong spot. B should be there. Yeah, just put it in the wrong spot. So sorry about that. Like I was saying, that was my mistake here. Like I was saying, the correct answer is B and not A, because if you look at A, C, and D, it will not form a slice of cake. It will not close. And in here, A will not work as well, because there is the square sides, and there's triangle sides. There's two triangle sides that are opposite, and there are there's two triangle faces, and there's three rectangular faces. So A will not work, C will not work as well, because you see there's four triangles, and here is D, looks like a correct choice, but then if you fold it all together, it will not form it will not close like a slice of cake. So the only real answer is letter B. It will close as a slice of cake. Okay, sorry about that confusion. For number 8. Okay, moving on to number 9. So we look at the other choices, we can see right away that C is eliminated, because see there's so many faces. D is eliminated as well, because see how pointy is letter D. So pointed. Triangle is so pointed. And letter B, it looks like the correct answer, but again the face and the way the triangle, the angle of the pointed part of the triangle is not the right choice as well. So B, C, D are eliminated. The only valid choice now is A. It's a like a pyramid with a wider, not with triangle there's not so pointy. So again, the way we interpret figures is different for everyone. The way we reason out. So that's how I look at these figures, and that's how I reason out. So based on the way your mind works, it's different for everyone. So we interpret differently. So yeah, and then we are moving on to number 10. So this is a cube with no, just plain white in all sides. So A will not work, because the box will just not close. If you count the number of faces, it's 6, but then if you fold them all together, you will be left with an open side. And so is C and D are all eliminated. They will not close correctly. See, the only real choice, correct answer is B, because you can, if you fold the pattern, it will form a closed box, a closed cube box. Okay. Number 11. Okay, the key to this question is by looking at the triangle here, right there, that triangle, and the rectangle that has a shaded triangle on the top right. Okay, so I focus on that for a reason, because if you look at A, it's eliminated right away, because see, the location of the shaded triangle is wrong for choice A. Now choice C is wrong as well, because it's at the tip part, the pointed tip part. The shaded triangle is at the pointed tip part for C, and D is wrong as well. The location of the shaded small triangle is wrong. So the only real choice here is then C, the triangle, plain white triangle, which is beside a rectangle, and that rectangle has a shaded triangle on the top right, and at that pointed tip side as well of the triangle beside it. Okay, yeah, like I showed you earlier, is focus on these two sides here, like that, and then that's the way I reason out for this question. And question 12 is, again, I use the process of elimination. For choice A, we can see that choice A will not work, because we look at the line, vertical line, and the dot here, they are kind of away from each other. There's a shaded triangle between them. So in here, they're right beside each other right away, so it will not work. Now for choice C, it's eliminated again, because the dot and the vertical line are beside each other, whereas here there's a gap between the horizontal line and the dot, and that gap is the shaded triangle in between them. And the same thing here, that the shaded triangle is beside the line that is horizontal, and here they are away. Shaded triangle and the horizontal line is away as well. So the only valid choice by process of elimination is letter B. The horizontal line is right beside the vertical line, just like that. If you fold the figure, fold it into to close it. Okay, and then question 13. So if we look closely to the figure here, we can see that this is a box with two horizontal lines beside each other and the two vertical lines beside each other if you fold it all together to make a to close it. And also you can see that the two faces with plain white squares are opposite each other. Okay, so right away, if you look at the choices here, A is eliminated because if you look at the way the horizontal lines and the vertical line are positioned, it's incorrect. Okay, the same thing with B. You can see two white lines are beside each other. Two white faces, I mean, is right beside each other, whereas here they are opposite, right there. The two white square faces are opposite, and there's a something between them. So B is eliminated right away, and C, again, the way the lines are positioned, it's incorrect. You can see here, see the two horizontal lines are right beside each other when you fold them together, and the two vertical lines are right beside each other when you fold them together, whereas here it's just not, it's incorrect. So the only correct answer is D, because the two horizontal lines are right beside each other and the plain white square face is at the top, and there's a square uh, face at the bottom as well on the opposite side, just like here. Okay, so that's number 13 and number 14 now. Number 14. To be honest, this is the hardest question that I found so far, and I have no idea. To be completely honest, I have no idea how the answer is D here. So, but then when I look at it, it's just hard to find the sequence. So, it is my advice that if you are stuck in a difficult question, don't spend too much time on it, but just look at the choices, do some process of elimination and see what makes sense. And if you can't find you don't seem to find the answer, just do the best guess, or even skip this question and then come back to it later, because maybe when you come back, your mind or your eyes will start to look at it fresh in a different way, and maybe you'll get the correct answer. But honestly, I don't find the reasoning for this. So it looks like there's two shaded lines are right beside each other and there's like um, a longer uh, white faces. Yeah, so sorry about that. I can't seem to find the reasoning for number 14. But yeah, but D is the correct answer. Number 15, last question. Correct answer is A. So the way I answered this is like I look at the horizontal line and the triangle. So here they're right beside each other, but like the triangle is located a little bit on the other side of the, like they're not really they're not right beside each other right away, the line and the triangle, the shaded line. Okay, so we look at the choices here. We see that B is eliminated right away, because if you fold the faces, they're away from each other instead of they're right beside each other here on the question. So B is eliminated. C is eliminated as well, because if you look at the solid line here is beside the, it's not on the center, whereas here it is on the center here, that shaded the solid line is in the center. So C is eliminated. D is eliminated as well, because it's so obvious. The line is along the like it's on a cross, or it's on the diagonal instead of being a straight line. This is diagonal line, so D is eliminated. So both B, C, D are all eliminated. The only valid choice now is A. So see, the solid line is right beside the face where it has a triangle on the shaded, with a shaded triangle, but it's a little bit far from the solid line, just like here on the figure. Okay, so like I said, everyone is different in how they see the folding of the figures, but I tried my best to explain in the way how I interpret the figures. So yeah, so this is it for this part. In my next video, I'm gonna do the problem solving part, and explain how the way how the answers are how they arrive at the answers. Okay, so cheers and have a good one. Oh, I can't believe that I took like 30 minutes to explain the spatial ability. Yeah, but spatial ability, it's just different with everyone how they see things. So okay, so till next time, cheers and have a good one.